What is up, Earthnoids, Spacenoids, and everything in between? I am just a simple new type, and today we are returning to the lead up to Odessa. In this video, we are focusing on the third season of IGLOO. Now, we covered IGLOO Season 1, The Hidden One-Year War, but we haven't covered Season 2. That is because Season 2 follows the adventures of Lieutenant Oliver and the test crew post-Odessa. In Season 3 of IGLOO, they change it up and focus on the Fetty side of things during Operation Odessa. IGLOO, The Gravity Front, is the third season of IGLOO, but is based off of IGLOO 2 manga. It is very confusing. Last episode, we followed Operation Odessa through the eyes of Amado and Whitebase. Today, we will see a different point of view of the battlefield. So let's get into IGLOO, The Gravity Front. Low Earth orbit. Zeon is attempting to make their push on Earth territory. The date is March 1st, UC 0079. The Battle of Loom and Operation British has made things hard for EFF. On top of that, Garmazabi is pronounced the leader of the Earth Attack Force. After the devastation of Australia, it is time for Zeon to make their move. April 26, UC 0079. DOPS are doing a routine scouting mission. They are taken out by ground-to-air missiles. During their death, we are shown the Angel of Death. Let's address this now. What we see here is a manifestation of death, or Shinigami in Japanese. This isn't subtext. This is straight up a message thrown in your face. Lieutenant Barberry disassociates and thinks of his past. It seems death looms over him, as he is the only survivor of his previous unit. He is given a new unit, but is hesitant of taking command. This is important because he has lost every man he has commanded on the battlefield. He tells his subordinate that they plan on taking out 3 Zakus. The Angel of Death penetrates his mind. Barberry wakes up from disassociation on the front line. They reach their destination. Barberry is in charge of utilizing the Regino missile launcher. They run into 2 ground-type Zaku 2s, unlike their intel that told them there would be 3. A Fetty supply truck comes rushing towards the unit. 1 Zaku crushes that truck. Barberry preps the cannon, but one of the Fetty soldiers is alive from the truck. Barberry doesn't order his unit to assist. The man is crushed. He is met with the thought of death. Barberry is tied to death, constantly following him. He prepares to fire the cannon. The Zaku goes down, but it isn't destroyed. The second Zaku comes in to assist, but is far away. Barberry's unit fires again. They get a direct hit. The Zaku is destroyed. The second Zaku fires on the unit. Half the men go down. 2 men go out in a jeep, but it is fruitless. Barberry is the only one left, once again, but has control of the cannon. Death is taunting him. The Zaku heads towards Barberry, but it trips. Barberry has the perfect shot. He takes it and destroys the Zaku. However, Barberry's intel was initially correct. There was a 3rd Zaku hiding and waiting. There's ultimately nothing he could do. He takes out his pistol. The Angel of Death looms over the Zaku. Lieutenant Ben Barberry died on the battlefield in April of UC 0079. July UC 0079. Sergeant Surratt is transferred to the 1st Platoon 201st Tank Squadron of the Federation's 44th Hybrid Regiment. He is to assist Lieutenant Yandel. While Surratt meets Yandel, the lieutenant initially tests him. He finds that Yandel has a limp that he received from a Zaku crushing his tank. Like Barberry, Yandel also has the Angel of Death looming over his shoulder. Yandel is an ace battle tank pilot. The Type 61 M6 1A battle tank replaced the 43 battle tank in UC 0061 and has been a mainstay for EFF during the One-Year War. Ultimately, all research data found from the Type 61 was eventually used to create the RX-75 gun tank. It has a 150mm smoothbore cannon and 2 different machine guns. Colonel Kalmata agrees to allow Lieutenant Yandel to lead an assault on Captain Snail's Zaku, aka the White Ogre. The White Ogre is the one who crippled Yandel and plans to seek revenge. Surat lets Yandel know that the Angel of Death is all over the battlefield. Yandel talks about his obsession with the White Ogre. A group of 3 Zakus are in target of the Type 61s, one of them being the White Ogre. They take fire at the Zakus. Yandel beelines straight for the White Ogre. The Zakus start taking out some of the battle tanks. The unit takes out one of the Zakus, but many of the tanks are going down really fast. They release smoke grenades and are able to take out another Zaku. Only the White Ogre remains. The White Ogre takes out all the tanks but Yandel and Surat, but the White Ogre is unaware of their location. Yandel is able to fire and destroy the White Ogre. Surat jumps out of the tank to confirm the kill. Yandel laughs with joy. However, Surat sees the Angel of Death over the shoulder of Yandel. Xeon forces fire a bazooka onto Yandel's tank. He didn't see it coming and is killed in action. Luckily, Surat is able to get away. Yandel was killed in action on July 26, UC 0079 on the European Northern Front. Earth forces are pushing east and heading for an assault on Makuvi's mining bases, which were formerly occupied by EFF. It is now November. Operation Odessa is in full effect. One thing to note here is that we will not see the appearance of the GM in battle in Mobile Suit Gundam proper, but this mobile suit was very much present during the Battle of Odessa. They were deployed as an experiment and were mainly on the back lines to prevent Xeon from learning its existence. However, that fails as they find out anyways. In this OVA, we also get to see the Dobde class ship in action. It is a heavy battleship that acts as a command post for Makuve and other commanders. This I don't think is Makuve's Dobde, however. The Dobde takes out part of the 44th Mechanized Composite Regiment. They are backed by 3 ground assault type tanks. The RTX 440 ground assault type gun tank is a descendant of the RX-75 gun tank. This has a longer range than the gun tank, but with a slightly less mobility. In addition to the 220mm cannon and 4-tube bop gun, this gun tank also has an assault gun mode. The new gun tanks are led by Lieutenant Nazan and her "let me talk to the manager" haircut. The new gun tank is a product of Clyde Bettany, an Earth engineer who betrayed EFF for Xeon and eventually switched sides. Taking all the data of the RTX 440 gun tank with him, he also is the lover of Lieutenant Nazan. Because of this, Nazan was thrown in jail for assuming she might turn sides as well. She is upset that Bettany destroyed her future. She is also haunted by the Angel of Death. The next day, EFF are able to get a forward push on Xeon, but Xeon lures many of the GMs into a trap. Lieutenant Nazan takes this opportunity to go for the assault. She will prove that the new gun tank is superior to the GM. Lieutenant Nazan has a flashback of her court-martial. She won't let the past be her future. The Dobde attacks the regiment from afar, but EFF are able to push Xeon back all the way to the mines. Izaku does great damage to one of the gun tanks. The pilot activates its self-destruct and grabs onto the Zaku, killing both in the process. The other gun tank suicides itself right into the Dobde, doing a good amount of damage. Lieutenant Nazan is the only gun tank left. However, there is a second Dobde. She is given orders not to engage with the new Dobde. However, the Angel of Death looms over Nazan. She engages regardless of orders. She gets close. 2 Doms engage her. She takes them out quite easily. She approaches, but the Dobde takes her out. They don't run over the tank, as they want the data. It seems that Bettany, the turncoat, is in the Dobde. Bettany tries to persuade her otherwise, but she's had enough of the traitor. She detonates the gun tank and destroys herself and the Dobde, killing Bettany as well. She wakes up next to the Angel of Death. She is dead, but the Angel of Death informs her that Bettany was actually an EFF double agent trying to capture the Dobde. She realized that she disobeyed orders that higher-ups probably already knew about Bettany. Nazon wasn't informed, however. It seems that her death was actually in vain. Death is a dick. And that will do it for this episode. I used to really not like the MS IGLOO series simply because of how ugly it looks, and it looks really ugly. But you get a vast understanding of what was going on the front lines during the Battle of Odessa and the days leading up to the operation. Even though everyone is fighting a war for their side, everyone also has their reasons to fight. Barbary fought to seek revenge for everyone that died in his command, and in the end, lost his own life. Like Moby Dick, Yandel has an obsession with his white whale, or in this case, white ogre. And finally, Nazon was fighting to create a new future for herself, and in the end, she ended up destroying her future. We are starting to see the nuance of the 1 Year War. Remember, no one side is good or bad. All of this is terrible. But that will do it for us this time. Remember, new types, maybe listen to your commanding officers. They might have more intel than you. Peace.